Imagine this. You are in China, standing in a small local restaurant. You are hungry and you are ready to try some real Chinese food. But there's a problem. The menu is full of Chinese characters. No English, no pictures, just the symbols you don't recognize. You ask the waiter, but he doesn't speak English. So you say the name of the dish in Chinese. His face lights up, and a few minutes later you get exactly what you wanted. So here's the truth. You can speak Chinese without learning characters. Many learners do. In fact, research shows that spoken fluency can be developed separately from reading and writing skills, especially in an immersive environment. So if your goal is communicate in daily conversations, focusing on speaking alone is totally fine. Well, there are some limitations, like reading signs or text messages, but that depends on what you need. If you just want basic conversations and communication, you don't have to let characters hold you back. You can start speaking confidently, and I'm here to help you do that. So today we are going to talk about whether you can learn Chinese by just speaking, and what that means for you. By the end of this video, I hope you will have your own answer. Let's start it. Can you learn Chinese without characters? First, let's answer the big question. Can you just learn Chinese without learning characters? As I mentioned at the beginning, the short answer is yes, you can. Chinese is a tonal language, which means the way you say a word can change its meaning. Speaking and listening are key skills, and you can improve them without reading or writing. For many learners, focusing on speaking is enough to start communicating, especially your goal is simple conversation or travel. However, there are some limitations to keep in mind. First, pronunciation can be tricky. If your tones are not correct, people may not understand you. In Chinese, the same sound with different tones can mean completely different things. For example, ma means mother, but ma means horse. Without characters to give extra clues, mistakes in pronunciation can cause confusion. Second, reading and writing can be a challenge. In real life, most written Chinese does not use pinyin. Menus, street signs, or even simple labels are all in characters. Imagine looking at a menu full of Chinese characters. If you don't know the characters, it's almost impossible to know what it says. Relying only in pinyin might leave you stuck in real-life situation. Finally, some words sound the same. Chinese has many homophones, meaning different words can have the same pronunciation. Without characters, it's hard to tell them apart. For example, shu could mean book or loose, depending on the context. There are some challenges you might face if you're only focusing on speaking. But does that mean you must learn Chinese characters? Not necessarily. It all depends on your goals. Now, let's look at the good and bad side of learning only through speaking. First, you will see progress faster. You don't need to memorize characters, so you can start using simple sentences right away. For example, you can say 我要这个, I want this, or 你好,我叫 hello, my name is, and begin real conversation quickly. Second, it feels less overwhelming. Many learners find Chinese characters difficult, but focusing only on speaking makes learning much easier and more approachable. Third, it works well for specific goals. If you just want to travel, have basic conversations, or chat with friends, speaking is often enough. You don't need to learn Chinese characters to order food, ask for directions, or introduce yourself. However, there are some challenges. Pronunciation mistakes can be harder to fix. If your tones are off, native speakers may not understand you. And unlike writing, you can't rely on characters to clear up the confusion. Also, real-life situation can be tricky. Many important things, menus, street signs, and labels are all written in characters. If you don't recognize basic words like 出口 for exit or 厕所 for toilet, daily tasks might be harder. Another issue is limited vocabulary growth. Without characters, it's harder to tell similar sounding words apart. For example, 书 could mean book or loose. Without characters, you rely only on text to guess the meaning. Finally, you might miss out on cultural depth. Chinese characters are full of meaning and history. For example, the characters 好 is made of 女, daughter, and 子, son, representing harmony in the family, which is good. Learning even a few characters can help you appreciate the culture in a deeper way. So, while focusing only on speaking has its benefit, there are some things to consider. But again, it all depends on your goals. Tips for mastering Chinese speaking. If you want to master speaking Chinese, here's how to do it effectively. Start with pronunciation and tones. The same word can have completely different meaning depending on the tone. For example, again, ma and ma sound similar, but means totally different things. Get used to the 4 tones by listening, repeating, and correcting yourself. Apps like Plico and Google Translate can help you to practice. Another great trick is mimicking native speakers. Watch a short clip and repeat after them, trying to match their tones and rhythm exactly. But here's something many learners don't realize. Your pronunciation doesn't have to be perfect for people to understand you. One of of my students wants to learn speaking only for his trip to China. And when he traveled to China, his pronunciation was far from standard and tone was sometimes off. He told me when he ordered food, he simply said, 我要这个 means I want this. The waiter understood him immediately. He could make a small talk with taxi drivers, ask for directions, and have real conversation, all with an accent or with imperfect tones. Yet, people still understood him. The key, clarity is more important than perfection. Native speakers naturally adjust to different accents. Think about English. People from different countries pronounce words differently, but you still can understand them.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I am from China. I have lots of international friends.
You have so many international friends.
Yes.
You can.
I really want to go Australia.
Like me, sometimes my pronunciation may off, but maybe you could still understand it. It's the same with Chinese. If your words make sense, people will get what you mean. You could also learn useful sentence patterns. Instead of memorizing words one by one, focus on full sentence that you will actually use. For example, if you are traveling, practice asking for price. 这个多少钱? How much is this? 你会说英文吗? Do you speak English? 我想要一杯咖啡. I'd like a cup of coffee. Practicing full sentences helps you speak faster and more naturally in real conversations. Improve your listening. Speaking isn't just about talking, it's about understanding too. Watch Chinese dramas with subtitles, listen to podcasts, or use apps to get used to the sounds of the language. Slow Chinese podcasts are great because they use real-life speech, but at a pace that the learner can follow. If you like music, try learning a few Chinese songs. Singing along can help improve both pronunciation and memory. Find a language partner. Speaking to real people helps more than anything else. Apps like HelloTalk and Tandem connects you with native speaker who can help correct your pronunciation and teach you everyday phrases. If you don't have a partner, try speaking to yourself. Describe what you are doing in Chinese, like 我在喝茶, I'm drinking tea. The more you practice, the more natural it feels. Repeat and imitate. Shadowing is a powerful technique. Listen to the native speaker and try to repeat their words immediately, copying their tones and rhythm. For example, watch a short video clip, pause after each sentence, and repeat what they say as they say it. This helps train your brain to think in Chinese and improve your fluency. Practice in real-life situations. The best way to learn is use Chinese in daily life. If you go to a Chinese restaurant, try ordering in Chinese instead of English. If you see Chinese signs, try to guess what they mean. If you are shopping in a Chinatown market, ask the vendor for price in Chinese. You don't need to be perfect. Just speaking a little every day will build confidence. The biggest mistake is wait until you are ready. You will never 100% ready. Just start speaking. Even if it is messy, keep going, stay consistent. Every small steps adds up, and soon you will be speaking Chinese with ease, when you might still want to learn some characters. Even if your goal is speaking, learning a few basic characters can be incredibly useful in some situations. Recognizing key signs is important, especially when traveling. Imagine you are in a busy underground station and you need to find the exit. If you recognize 出口 for exit and 地铁 for underground, you can navigate much more easily without asking for help. Street signs, toilet signs, and restaurant menu often don't have pinyin or English translations. So knowing a few essential characters can save time and confusion. Typing in Chinese also requires basic character recognition. Even though you type using pinyin, your device will show multiple characters options for each word. If you can't recognize the correct one, you might send completely wrong message. For example, if you want to say I'm busy, 我很忙, but accidentally choose 我很忙, I'm very blind, it could lead to funny or confusion situation. Avoiding misunderstanding is another big reason to learn some Chinese characters. Chinese has many homophones, words that sound the same but have different meaning. Without characters, it's easy to mix them up. For example, again, 书 could mean book or loose, depending on the context. Recognizing characters helps you understand and express yourself more clearly. So, while you can learn Chinese by speaking only, pick up some key characters can make things easier and help you connect more deeply with the language. So, let's back to the topic. Can you learn Chinese without characters? Absolutely. For short-term goals and basic conversation, focusing on speaking can be practical and effective. But if you want to advance further or immerse yourself in Chinese culture, adding even a small amount of characters recognition will greatly enhance your learning experiences. If you are a completely beginner and want to quickly learn how to speak Chinese, click the link in the description to find out more. So that's all for today's video. Whether you are learning just to speak or explore the beauty of characters, remember, the most important thing is to enjoy the journey. journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in next video. Bye.